Steve Adubato, I'm here at the HealthCare Foundation of New Jersey, and it is my honor to introduce the leader of that team, Marsha Atkind, who is a person who, we started this conversation, I don't know, a year ago?
Yeah.
We just finished a forum, not to air, but we interviewed every person who was part of that forum, called Breaking the Cycle of Teen Abuse and Teen Bullying. And I just said this to you, trust me, there's a question here. It was a hard conversation to have.
It was a very tough conversation to have. Well, first of all, I think that people are coming from it from different perspectives.
We had educators, we had people who run not-for-profits, people who are psychologists.
And we had people who represent different communities who are the subjects of bullying. Yes. And I think that even though there are some things that happen in general, you know, that are the same in all of those situations, there are some things that are different.
We had folks from the LGBTQ plus community.
Right, right. We had somebody who had recently lost a child as a result of online bullying and
suicide,
perhaps
12 years old.
Yes, 12 years old.
12 years old.
We hear that far too often. I mean, it's horrifying. I think that what she said had a lot of validity, which is that online platforms magnify bullying and make it much worse. You know, it used to be if you and I and a couple of other people were together and somebody said something hurtful to someone else, right, it really hurt the person who was the target, but it was confined to the 4 or 5 or 2 or however many people were in the room. With social media, it's multiplied. It could be out in the whole world. Everybody in high school or everybody in junior high school could see that. Their parents could see that. And it never goes away. It lives there forever. So.
The other part of that conversation, by the way, we are only able to do what we're doing because the HealthCare Foundation committed resources to our initiative, plus a range of the other folks who are part of this conversation, not-for-profits, and others who are not. My question is, why is this teen bullying, teen abuse, and elder abuse, which we'll do an additional program on, why is that the purview of the HealthCare Foundation of New Jersey?
Well, we've discovered...
I shouldn't have asked that after we got the grant. I didn't ask that before. But I am curious, like, why is that part of the...
So we've learned over the course of the 22 or so years that we've been around that mental health and physical health are totally connected to each other. That people who have ongoing mental health issues, chronic mental health issues, tend to live 20 years or so less than people who do not. That children who have adverse childhood experiences tend to have lots of mental health problems and physical health problems as they grow up. And so you can't be a healthy person if you're not mentally healthy, if you don't take care of the issues that, you know, most of us have some issues. It's a question of how many and how serious they are and whether we can get help for the things we need help for.
But the part of the conversation, adverse childhood experiences, which actually check our website, you'll see it come up right now. We actually did, otherwise known as ACEs.
Right.
We did a comprehensive series of interviews down in Princeton, at Morven, I believe, the First Lady and others talking about this. So what Marsha's talking about is so critically important. The thing that struck me about the conversation is that when we started talking about solutions, potential solutions, well, the schools need to, administrators, principals, teachers, they need to be the ones. No, starts in the home. And is it?
So I think the problem is that there's not a magic bullet.
Please
right?
share.
I don't think that any one of those institutions or groups can solve the problem. I think that the problem is multifaceted. Parents have to be taught how to parent and how to react when their children are bullied or are the victims of dating violence or anything like that.
Or are the perpetrators
or
of. Or
are the perpetrators of the same, exactly.
Oh, listen, no, but come on, don't make a big deal about my kid who did that. What?
There's nothing wrong with my kid. It's your kid who was, you know, the bully.
Can't your kid take it?
Yeah, exactly.
Just teasing.
Exactly.
All the wrong
messages.
messages.
So we have to own it. You know, we have to, the stigma has to be erased, and we have to know that all kids most kids, maybe all kids, do difficult things sometimes or are the butt of difficult things. And we have to help them get beyond that behavior. We have to figure out why they're doing it or why it's happening to them, and help them, whichever side of that equation they're on, we have to help them. So I think that's our role as parents, okay? Schools need to understand much better how to identify behaviors that are when a kid is troubled. There was a really interesting show at Lincoln Center a couple of years ago called Pipeline, okay? And it was about the school to prison pipeline. And one of the incidents in this show was that a kid, a really good kid, okay, threw a book at a teacher one day when she asked him why he didn't bring his homework in on time. Now, why didn't he bring his homework in on time? That was really the question. His parents had had a very difficult fight the night before. I don't remember whether it had become violent or not, but it was a very difficult fight. And he was really upset by that fight, and he couldn't do his homework. So when the teacher asked him why he didn't have his homework, he reacted emotionally, and he threw the book at the teacher. Now, should he have done that? Of course not.
What coping skills did he have?
Of course not. But wouldn't it be wonderful if the teacher, instead of having him suspended, had either been able herself or had called in a counselor in the school to find out what was motivating this kid? You know, why did this kid do this? These are things that people in the schools have to learn to recognize and to cope with, and to create an environment in the school that's trauma-informed. You know, that where they can recognize
they know what to look for.
They know what to look for, and they know how to deal with what they find, not just what to look for.
By the way, if you want to find out about another aspect of abuse and bullying, go on our website. You'll see it right there. On elder abuse, we looked at that. By the way, give folks a real quick sense. I know we did teen abuse and bullying today. Elder abuse so important because?
Because it's important no matter how many elderly people are abused, but we do have to understand that the population is aging, that more and more people are in the position where they're becoming frail, they're becoming isolated, and they're at the mercy of people who take advantage of them financially, physically, who neglect them, who get frustrated and angry and take it out on them because they're difficult to take care of sometimes. Right. And again, we have to teach caregivers how to cope with people. We have to teach medical personnel, sometimes even people who do people's hair, to recognize when somebody's been abused and to do something about it.
Marsha, thank you for allowing us and so many other not-for-profit organizations to try to be a part of the solution to breaking the cycle of abuse and bullying. Thank you.
Thank you.
Also brought to you by the Northward Center and by PSE&G, committed to improving New Jersey's economy and strengthening its communities.